and thank you again for joining us for today's NeedyMeds Brief, safeneedledisposal.org. My name is Carla. I am the Director of Education at NeedyMeds, and before I introduce today's guest, I want to go over just a few tips. First of all, if you have any questions about the presentation, safe needle disposal, or NeedyMeds in general, feel free to type them into the questions section of your GoToWebinar control panel. And if we don't get a chance to answer your question, we'll follow up with you personally via email by tomorrow. Also, the heads up that the brief is being recorded, and we will do our best to convert it into a video quickly and post it onto the NeedyMeds YouTube channel. And you can find access to that channel on the top right hand of the NeedyMeds homepage. You'll see a whole bunch of social media icons. The third one from the left will take you to the NeedyMeds YouTube channel. Also, in the handout section of your GoToWebinar control panel, you will find a copy of today's PowerPoint presentation. And of course, at the end, we'll provide the contact information for both Safe Needle Disposal as well as NeedyMeds. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. For those of you that are not familiar with NeedyMeds, there's a screenshot of our homepage. And I always put that up really because our website is the face of our organization. NeedyMeds is a national nonprofit dedicated to educating and empowering those seeking affordable health care. That's our official mission statement that you're looking at and that I've just said aloud that we updated actually in 2016. Basically, what we do is we connect people, regardless of insurance status, to programs free and anonymously through our website and toll-free helpline that will help them to save on or afford their healthcare expenses. So as our mission statement indicates, a big part of what we do is educating people. And we really define that in two ways. The first way is certainly by educating people about NeedyMeds and the resources we have to offer. And the second is by educating people about other valuable resources, which is what brings us to our brief and our guest today. Safe needle disposal is a public health and safety issue that is commonly overlooked. Our panelist, Leah Zarilis, the Safe Needle Disposal Project Manager, will give an overview of the newly updated Safe Needle Disposal website and how it can help you. So bear with me while I pass the mic and the screen to Leah. You may hear just a few moments of silence. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Carla, for having me as your guest today, and thank you to all of you who are listening. I hope you'll find this website to be a useful resource and something you can recommend to others, whether it be family members, friends, neighbors, patients, or anyone you know in your community who would benefit. I would like to begin by briefly talking about what are sharps. Unless you are a healthcare professional, you may not be familiar with what a sharp is. Sharps is a medical term for devices with sharp points or edges that can puncture or cut skin. Millions of Americans are prescribed medication that requires self-injection to help them manage chronic medical conditions. These conditions include allergies, arthritis, blood clotting disorders, diabetes, infertility, multiple sclerosis, osteoporosis, and psoriasis. Examples of sharps include needles, syringes, lancets, finger sticks, auto-injectors, infusion sets, and connection sets. The number of people using sharps at home, at work, and while traveling keeps growing, which means the problem regarding safe disposal is becoming more prevalent. People are usually not told how to properly contain and dispose of their used sharps. As a result, sharps are thrown loosely in the trash or toilet. They also end up in curbside recycling, which can cause damage to sorting equipment at waste facilities. Local guidance on disposal is often hard to find, and people are given the runaround on what to do, which is frustrating. This is where we come in by making our website a one-stop shop for people to learn how to dispose of their used sharps wherever they are. SafeNeedleDisposal.org is the most comprehensive resource for home-generated medical sharps disposal. We provide information on state and local guidelines, as well as list community disposal programs. I also want to mention that businesses and healthcare facilities are regulated by state medical waste laws. The disposal locations and state guidelines that we list are for households only. We outline an easy step process to dispose of your used sharps. First, make sure you use a strong plastic container to store and dispose of your sharps. It should be a rigid, puncture-proof container with a secure lid, such as a laundry detergent or bleach bottle. Unsafe containers include thin plastic containers, like soda or water bottles, glass, and cardboard boxes. Pharmacies and medical supply stores typically have FDA-approved sharps containers for purchase. When the container reaches the fill line, or 3/4 of the way full if you're using an alternative household container, put the lid on and secure it with duct tape, and also label the container with the words "Do not recycle." Then be sure to check SafeNeedleDisposal.org for guidance on disposing of your container. I will now switch over to the live site and demonstrate how to search disposal options using both the state and zip code search. So it'll be just a moment while I switch over. There are 2 ways to search for disposal information on our website. If you haven't visited our site before, I recommend searching by your individual state, because not all states and areas have disposal programs. Furthermore, the vast majority of states allow disposal of sharps in the regular household trash, as long as they are in a strong plastic container that is sealed and labeled properly. So first we'll go to Alabama. Each state page has a clear visual overview on what to do with your used sharps. Most of them look like the Alabama page. It shows the type of container you should use, how to secure and label it, and then whether or not it can be placed in the household trash. At this time, we haven't found any disposal locations in this state. Now we'll go to Indiana. This state also allows disposal in the regular household trash. However, there are some areas that have disposal locations. You'll find a list of these programs by clicking the drop-down at the bottom of the page here. The zip code search is the other way to search for disposal locations. If you are from California, Florida, or New York, this is definitely the best way to search for programs. These states have pretty extensive networks. So for a demonstration, I'll use the zip code 01930, which is Gloucester, Massachusetts. You have the option of selecting the radius. If you're searching a large urban area, it's best to use 10 miles. If you are from a suburb or rural area, you'll probably want to use 25 or 50 miles, depending on how far you're willing to travel. So for this one, I'll select 25 and click on the search. If there are locations in your area, they will be listed like this. Be sure to click on the location name to view additional details about the facility. Additional information may be hours of operations, container requirements, and if there are any disposal fees. Also, be sure to note if the facility has a residency restriction. We also indicate if the facility provides containers, either for free or low cost. I'll do one last demonstration of a zip code search. This zip code is from a state that has no known disposal locations that we're aware of at this time. If you get this message while using the zip code search, you can try increasing the radius, but it's usually best to go directly to the state information page. Now I'll switch back to the PowerPoint slide deck, and that'll be just a moment, please. The central feature of safeneedledisposal.org is our listings of disposal programs and locations. We have over 3,700 listings to date. The programs that we list are primarily drop-off sites, which include 24-hour drop boxes, supervised collection sites, household hazardous waste facilities, one-day collection events, and container exchange programs. We have other information on our site regarding sharps management, mainly information on safe containers to store and dispose of your sharps. Under the Solutions tab, we have a directory of container and mailback programs that are offered by some of the pharmaceutical companies. Under the Resource Center tab, we have online print materials to display at your facility or to hand out to patients. We also have an extensive FAQ page with the most common questions we get from callers. Under the For Businesses tab, we provide a directory of state waste agencies for businesses and medical facilities to contact for disposal information. Before I leave you today, I wanted to highlight a few of the FAQs we receive from callers. Does Safe Needle Disposal pick up or provide sharps containers? As I'm sure you can tell from our website, we are not a medical waste company, so we do not pick up sharps containers from homes or otherwise collect sharps ourselves. We are also not affiliated with any of the disposal programs that we list on our website. Furthermore, we do not supply sharps containers or any mailing supplies to return them. We are strictly an information resource for home-generated sharps. Will my pharmacy, doctor, or local hospital take my full sharps container? Unless otherwise mandated, healthcare facilities, as well as fire and police stations, typically cannot take sharps from the public. These facilities are regulated and are required to pay for their own medical waste disposal, so they usually do not also have the resources to take containers from the public. How do I dispose of unused sharps? If your unused sharps are still in their original packaging, haven't expired, and do not require refrigeration, the World Medical Relief may accept them. Visit worldmedicalrelief.org or call 313-866-5333 for more information. If you have injectable meds that have expired or require refrigeration, you will need to dispose of them as if they were used according to your state or local guidelines. How can I start a community sharps disposal program at my facility? The process for becoming licensed to collect sharps for safe disposal varies depending on where you are. We recommend contacting either your city or county health department. We also have a directory of state waste agencies on our website that you can contact for more information. This concludes the overview of safeneedledisposal.org. Please feel free to send me any questions you have on the presentation, the website, or any of the disposal information. I will now pass the mic back to Carla, and she'll make a few announcements before we go. Thanks again for listening, and have a great day.
Hello, everyone. This is Carla again. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us for Leah. And by the way, her last name is pronounced Zeroulis. And it's a little joke we have back and forth because after 3 years of working together, I still can't seem to get it right. But I'm sure you found her presentation as informative and easy to understand as I do. As promised, there's the contact information for safe needle disposal. And as Leah had mentioned, there is the toll-free helpline, and you can feel free to shoot an email as well. For those of you that have submitted questions throughout the brief that we didn't get the chance to address, again, we will follow up with you. Sorry about that, everybody. We will follow up with you personally via email. And I want to take just a moment to actually escape out of the PowerPoint presentation. And if you'll all bear with me, I wanted to point out one of the things that I mentioned, which on the top right hand of our homepage, you will find the link to our YouTube channel. And again, that's at the top right-hand side. It's the third link from the left. So I suggest subscribing because you'll see it really does have a plethora of previously recorded special topic webinars. I also want to point out, if you're interested in registering for any upcoming webinars, you can do that under the webinars page on the Advocates tab. And you can also find NeedyMeds webinars on the bottom right hand of the page under the calendar of events. So with that, bear with me while I exit once again and for the last time out of our live website into the PowerPoint presentation so I can leave you with the contact information. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon and enjoy the upcoming holiday weekend. Take care.